In this session, we're going to look into typical data virtualization, create a stored procedure, publish it as a web service, and consume it from WebFOCUS as the BI solution. So actually, we're going to start with building our web service. So let's go in here. So we're going to start with a new parameterized query. Select my query. So that's going to be my customer sales query. So in there, I'm going to use my product sales view, which is a joint view combining my sales fact and products. So I'll go over here. We're going to add our product sales. There we go. So I'll go to the grid. Actually, I want to keep a bunch of the elements. So we're going to go for the grid and we're going to pick all the columns. So I don't want to keep all of them. So we're going to remove a bunch of them. So I want to go for actually, I'm going to keep the customer ID in there. So I'm going to remove those. I'm going to go for those and get rid of those. I'm going to keep my measures. So and go back to the products. So I'm going to go for the product description and product name. So I'm going to remove those. Get rid of those. I just want to keep the product description and the product name. I don't want to keep all the measures, by the way. So let's go for a bunch of them. So I'll get rid of those. Actually, get rid of the columns as well. So now the rows in here. So let's clean it up a little bit. So we're going to go for the product name, put it to the way top. Have the customer first, add my product description in here, in the third place. And I'm going to keep cost and discount in my report. Maybe actually, let me add one more. So let's go for revenue local as well. So there we go. Let's give it a try. Actually, I'm getting now very detailed information, something I don't want. So let's go for the group by and group by customer, group by product name, group by product description. And in here, I want to aggregate those values. So I want to go for the detailed value. I want to get a sum. Let's add the sum in here. To aggregate those columns. And at the end, so that's my new field called cost. That's going to be my discount. And this is going to be my revenue. So I'm going to stick with those. Run it again. So we have to add it to the aggregate column. So I think we got a few left at the bottom. So whenever that happens, it's usually that there are some leftovers. So let's get rid of them. So now I got my aggregated values. So perfectly fine in here. So I got my customer IDs. So for the procedure, I want to customer ID to be an input parameter for my procedure. So let's add a parameter in here. So that's going to be my in customer. So now I've got a filter criteria in here. So 30231. Let's remember that one. So let's take 30231. Actually, let's remember it. So I'll keep it. There we go. So we got our stored procedure. So let's save it and keep it. And now I want to publish my new customer sales procedure. So we're going to publish it, and we're going to publish it as not a database. I want to publish it as a web service. So I'm going to put it into enterprise data. There's already a few of them in there. So I'm going to add my customer sales for customer to change the name a little bit. Publish it. So now that we publish it, it's there as a web service. So we can look at the enterprise data web services. So we got a bunch of web services in here. So actually, there we are. I want to go for REST connection. So here's my REST web service. So let me copy that one. And now we can try it out from the web. Of course, it's protected by my user. There we go. That's, sorry, I ran the wrong, so that's the wrong one. So not what I wanted to run. So let's go back. So actually, important thing is pick the web service here first. I took the first one, which was wrong. So let's take that one. Now you can see it's expecting our ID in here. So you might want to go for customer sales. It's a 30231 that we can use. 30231, run it. There we are. So we got our web service. So let's keep the web service. And now we can register that web service as a data source in WebFOCUS. So we're going to go for Get Data Advanced. And I already have web services in here. So let's add a connection. So that's my TDV enterprise data. That's my base URL. So actually, I don't need all of it. So that's what we need. Security is explicit. So it's going to be my user. So let's configure it. Oh, sorry. No spaces in connection names. So there we go. And now we can create our master file. We need the same string. We already have that part. So let's continue here. Okay, so that's the part we need. So that block of the string goes in here. The parameter we keep here with a default in here. So we're going to be fine with the default. That's absolutely what we need here. So that's going to be something we're going to live with. So, okay, where do we put it? Actually, we're going to put it into our base up folder. Don't do it in your real system, but it's fine for me. So the synonym, I'm going to take the same thing as the name in here. Click add. There we go. Now we got our responses. Here's the response set from the data. I've got my header, which is going to contain the input value for the filter. So actually, that's what we need. So we can go save. Got it. We can keep it. Yeah, let's keep it in here the way it is. So let's build report. Actually, I want to build a very simple table now. So let's jump in here. Let's build something very simple. There we go. So actually I was thinking about building a table. So I'm going to go for the result sets. So there's my result set. I could make it look nicer in here. It's still a little bit technical, but I can go for the product name. I can go for the product description, and I can add, of course, cost, discount, and revenue. I have the customer ID in here that we can add to the report as well. So I can put it somewhere into the report as well. So we got the customer ID in here. Actually, let's move it on top. So that's our filtered customer ID. Of course, I can now filter on the customer ID. So currently it's using the default value. If I don't like that default thing, I can go back to my in customer, which is the filter, put it onto the filters in here, and I can enter data in here manually. So if we don't remember a customer name, customer ID, let's quickly double check in our product sales table. So there we go. Let's see what we have as a valid customer ID. So we're going to be able to make a useful test in here. So there's my ID customer. So we can go for 11162. Go over to WebFOCUS, 162, add that one, save it, and there we go. There's our table. There we go. It's our customer, and we can easily change and work with the data. That's a straightforward way to publish data in TDV as a service and consume that same data from WebFOCUS or any other tool that's going to be able to work with REST-based services. Hope you like it.